Good afternoon. Welcome once again to the Mayor's Weekly Press Conference. Weather, this is apparently thunderstorm season. Had a really fascinating thunderstorm lightning display on Sunday evening, I think it was, from my back patio or back deck. I imagine for those of you who were out watching, you saw it as well. It was quite spectacular. But along with that, as we all know, comes rain. So today's weather has been scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, looking at a high of 79 and a low of 66 into tomorrow. Tomorrow it says full-on thunderstorms. A high of 75 and a low of 60 into Friday, partly cloudy. Looks like we're going to dry out a little bit with a high of 77, a low of 58. Saturday, mostly cloudy. A high of 78 and a low of 61, and then into Sunday, back to scattered thunderstorms for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, with a high on Sunday of 83 and a low of 68. Monday, a high of 84 and a low of 67, and then Tuesday, a high of 80 and a low of 65. So it would sure be nice to dry out for a week or two, but it doesn't look like that's necessarily in the forecast. Happenings around the city. Something I'm going to start off with, which is a little bit out of the ordinary for what I typically bring up, but the Athens Soil and Water Conservation District is accepting applications for a part-time urban stormwater specialist. Bachelor's degree in conservation, natural resources, engineering, or other related field is expected. 2 years experience in urban conservation field work, preferred, accredited, or in training as a certified professional in erosion and sediment control. That also being preferred. So the looks like the salary range is between $15 and $18. If you're interested, you can apply and get more details on the job description at the Athens Soil and Water Conservation District office, which is 69 South Plains Road, The Plains, Ohio. And that's 45780, or on the web at Athens SWCD, all in caps, .org. Again, that's Athens, capital S, capital W, capital C, capital D.org. And you can apply there. The applications need to be returned to the office no later than 4 p.m. on July 1st. So that's coming up quick. Let's see, street closures. We have several of them throughout the city. Factory Street closure. This is Station Street to Riverside Drive. It will be closed until July 17th for a lot of reconstruction of that street access to the city's parking services and refueling station via Riverside Drive. So keep that in mind. University Estates. Also, we have got a project going on up there where we're going to be doing some work on a slip repair. This is going to be from 682 to Altamont Drive. Tuesday, it started yesterday, until the 25th, so next Tuesday. We're going to be doing a lot of work up in that area. And traffic will be limited. Two-way will be maintained with flaggers on University Estates Drive. West Washington closure as well. That closure started today and looks like it'll be wrapped up by Friday at 5 p.m. The sidewalk near 55 West Washington Street will be closed during the week. This AEP project. You can certainly use the other side of the street for pedestrian thoroughfare. As I mentioned, it's West Washington from High Street to South Lancaster Street. And it'll be closed for replacement of utility poles, AEP. Like I said, that is an AEP project. Joneswood Drive. I know there's some trench work going on up there, ditch cleaning rather, on Joneswood Drive. That will be today, and it'll be in place until the ditch work is completed up on Joneswood. So there's that. Arts, Parks, and Rec. Wanted to put out a reminder that tomorrow, June 20th, is the 10th anniversary of the world's largest swimming lesson. This will be at the city pool. So come out and join us at the pool. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow. Children ages 3 to 18. Again, this is to get people in the water and get them accustomed to the water and hopefully get them to start learning how to swim and swim safely. Swimming is a great life skill for anyone. To that end, private lessons at the city pool are available. It's $20 per 30-minute session per person. So again, these are private. It's time to sign up for private lessons. So go out and do that. The Athens County Community Singers. They're doing the Patriotic Concert on June 27th at 7 p.m. at Arts West at 132 West State Street here in the city of Athens. It's a $10 suggested donation. So if you want to join in and lend your pipes to that event, please come out and do it. Meet Your Banjo. I saw this the other day and was intrigued. Beginner-friendly banjo workshop, also at Arts West. Ages 8 plus. You can register at stewartsoperhouse.org/index.php/events. It's going to start Sunday, June 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. Again, if you're interested in picking up a banjo and learning how to play, or that thought's crossed your mind at some point in life, here's your opportunity to get out there at the beginner-friendly banjo workshop. Some other items that I've got. This just came to me earlier today that the Ohio University Summer Dance Institute presents David Dorfman Dance. This is going to be June 21st, 7:30 p.m. at the Shirley Wimmer Dance Theater in Putnam Hall at Ohio University. Let's see. Like I said, 7:30 p.m. Suggested donation is $10 to come out and watch the dance performance. A couple last things that I've got that I want to bring up. The Brick Criterium is coming back to Athens this weekend. There you see the map of the course itself. I think more importantly for those of you who might be viewing is to remember that there will be a large portion of the uptown area streets that will be closed, most notably Court Street from Union to State Street between Court and Congress, and then Congress Street from State Street to Union will be closed, then Union Street between Congress and Court. So that's what you see in the image there is the track oval. We will be directing traffic coming on Richland Avenue heading north to getting off on either Mulberry and circling around and kind of returning your trip, or you can, I'm sure, cut across Park Place and get onto Terrace Drive, University Terrace, and circumvent that way. The other is for anyone coming up West Union, you are going to be directed to using High Street to circumvent the course. So just keep that in mind. The last thing I want to do is just to give an update or a reminder to people. I know that the government channel, Ryan Schwartzoff, as well as Scott Thomas and Zach Shriver, they've done a great job with putting together a public service announcement on our new smart meters that we have in the city of Athens. I encourage everyone to either go to the city's website and watch that, or we're going to kind of wrap up with that today. But it's very informative as to how to go about using the new smart meters. They still accept coins. They also accept credit cards or debit card. They will also, we still are using the apps. Park Mobile is used with that. The IPS mobile app that will be coming soon has not been deployed yet with these new meters, but that is coming. So what I want to do is wrap up by wishing you all a great rest of your week and weekend. And I have a reminder, one other reminder before we roll into the the great video that the government channels put together about the smart meters, but also as a reminder that we will not be having a mayor's press conference next Wednesday. I will be at the National League of Cities Boards and Leadership meeting in Indianapolis. Be there. What a great place to celebrate my wife's 40th birthday in Indy, but that's where I'll be. We will probably back the press conference up to Thursday, but we will make sure that information gets out about having to have the press conference on a different date because, like I said, I will be in Indianapolis. So that all said, thank you for tuning in, and please enjoy watching this very informative feature on our new smart meters. Take care.
Hi, I'm Ron Lucas. I'm Deputy Service Safety Director for the City of Athens. I'm here today to talk to you about the IPS smart meters that we are placing in the Uptown area.
Where are the smart meters going to be located?
Everywhere where there's a parking meter. So primarily the Uptown corridor, which is Mulberry to Carpenter, and then there are some streets that have parking meters that are off of that beaten path a little bit, like West State Street, East State Street, Lash, Congress, a little piece of President Street, and Richland Avenue just west of BW3. So, so there's that opportunity to replace everything when new.
How do I feed these new meters?
Quarters, dimes, nickels to get your time as you could with the older meters. You can also use smart debit cards and credit cards from a swipe standpoint. And they're still functional with mobile applications. So we're going to continue our use of Park Mobile since it's very established in the city of Athens, particularly with the city and a high university. But IPS, the company that we bought the meters from, they have a application called Park Smarter, and the biggest difference with that is not only is it fully integrates with their proprietary software system that we'll be using, but it also eliminates the transaction fee that Park Mobile charges. So instead of having that 35-cent per transaction fee, you're just going to pay $1 to park for an hour or 75 cents to park for an hour, and the city will absorb the finance charges.
Should I use Park Smarter over Park Mobile?
It's all about what the customer wants to do. Again, Park Mobile is pretty established, and you can use that in numerous communities, so I think that there's still going to be a desire for people to use Park Mobile. But I think once that people start figuring out that, hey, this Park Smarter app doesn't charge me a fee, that might be a little more attractive. Another thing that the app does is it shows you available parking spaces, because those parking spaces are all real time, and they utilize a 4G cellular device that communicates with all the other meters.
How does Park Smarter know where spots are open?
So it utilizes a combination of Google Maps and the GPS location of the parking meter poles. So I don't know if you've seen, but we've reduced the footprint of poles by about 50% because we did all double meters where we could. So that cleans up the street quite a bit in terms of what you see from a visual standpoint when you're driving or walking. And those will show you, if you're utilizing the app, those will show you what you're doing real time.
Why did the city decide to get new meters?
Using the older gear-based system, it's coin only, can't be expanded to accept credit cards. So that was something that we learned from the Uptown traffic study that people wanted. So we selected a meter that gives our citizens that opportunity to use a quarter, or hey, I don't have a quarter, I can use my smart card. No bills, you can't use bills, but coin or debit card, credit card, mobile app, whatever, but it's all tied into one system from a back end from our parking enforcement standpoint. So they'll be able to use iPhones with the IPS enforcement software to be able to do what they need to do to make sure people are parking correctly.
Why do some meters cost more than others?
We looked at all the parking spaces and determined where the bulk of people park during the highest peak times, and that was the area that we decided to go with in terms of being the high intensity parking zone. And we didn't make that decision in a vacuum. You know, I looked at it, the captain of the police department looked at it, parking enforcement officers looked at it, and we all brought it together to make those zones. So those are $1 an hour. And then the moderate zones, which are just outside of that main area where we would like to see more people park, is 75 cents an hour. And then the outer level, which is like East State Street on the far end, or West State Street on the far end, or lower end of West Union down by Smith Street, that's our 50 cent zone, the low intensity parking area. And those are subject to change, so we'll review the data periodically to see, well, maybe that isn't a high intensity zone, maybe that should be a moderate, or vice versa, maybe a moderate zone truly is a high intensity zone, and we can make those changes. Now we'll only have the domes, which reset the meter once a car leaves to 0. We'll only have those in the high intensity zones. The rest of the meters won't have those domes that will reset the meters.
How do the smart meters know when someone has left a spot?
There's a sensor that's a dual mounted, it's a sensor that goes both ways, and it can sense when a vehicle is there and when it leaves. So when your vehicle pulls in, it's not doing anything. You feed the meter or pay the meter via your card or app. Now it goes live, and as soon as that vehicle leaves, it reads that and resets the meter to 0. So you can't pigtail parking in the high intensity area.
What are rapid parking spots?
You can calibrate each meter to be set up for different times. So most spaces are 2-hour maximum, but handicapped spaces are 4. And you can do that on the back end and tell the meter what it's gonna charge. Each one's individual. There's also 10-hour spaces. So the rapid parking spaces are going to be 20-minute meters. So basically I can pull in, put a quarter in and get 10 cents or 10 minutes, and then go and get my cup of coffee or my newspaper or a quick carry-out dinner or whatever. Having those opportunities for people to utilize those spaces and get traffic in and out of those so that they aren't parking there all day.
Where are the rapid spaces going to be located?
There's a little bit on every section. There's typically, the way I tried to design it is 2 per block and closest to the intersections. But there are exceptions to that, depending on how long the block is. Having them so that you don't have to parallel park, you can just pull in and pull out. That was one of the criteria that we wanted to use. And we just looked strategy in terms of what type of business is here and would they benefit from a rapid park meter. So again, since it's a per meter thing, you can completely customize that. So let's say one of your fast park meters is somewhere that you're expecting a lot of use and that business climate changes, you can move that spot to a different location and just change the rate on that existing meter. The biggest difference is there's going to be a visual difference with the rapid park meters. There'll be green. So when you're driving, you'll see a green meter and say, oh, that's a... Plus we'll add some kind of fancy sign to it as well.
What are some of the concerns you've heard from citizens? Would you like to address those concerns?
The biggest current concern is that we're gouging in terms of raising rates and trying to take money from people's pockets, and that's not true. The uptown parking system is meant to sustain businesses in the uptown area. You know, so if you have storage parking on Court Street in your high intensity areas, that's not moving people away from the business district. They're just hanging out, parking all day. They understand the system that they can just move to a non-adjacent space and put a couple more dollars in and have 2 more hours. You know, that goes against the way that we want people to experience uptown. You know, so moving people more consistently is key so that businesses are able to feel the benefit from multiple people coming in. So a lot of the complaints that we hear is that there's never a place to park. So let's give people the option to still park in the uptown area, but they may need to park a little bit further away if they want to have the same rate that they're used to, which should, in theory, open up spaces in the downtown or the uptown area for people to be able to go to businesses.